Good morning, Enrico. Nice to see you. How are you doing, man?
Ciao, Mace. Good morning. It's amazing to see you as well. I'm doing pretty well. I have been eating a bit too much and too late yesterday, but still, I'm full of energy. I'm very loaded to learn something new from you.
Full of energy and full of food. Nice to hear.
Most likely, yes. That's a good way to define it.
So today I want to share with you my perspective about the topic, which maybe will be very interesting for you because you are a manager much more these days, and I am a developer or engineer still. I know you are still an engineer, but uh, what I want to share with you is that I think that engineers are often viewed by others, like managers, directors, HR professionals, something like as cash-driven machines. I mean, they follow the biggest salary. That's all. You cannot motivate them otherwise. I know not everyone believes that, but definitely something is in it. So I started thinking more about this topic because also I have a great team these days, and I'm working with many senior developers, very experienced engineers, and also I'm in this industry for 14 years. So I have quite a lot of experience from my side, and I started reviewing this topic, how it was in my case. So at the beginning of my journey, I felt like I could work on almost everything as long as I could program. I was just so passionate about this, and I was so happy that I joined this industry that I really doesn't care about anything, salary, technologies, other stuff, even people around. It was only about that someone allows me to program and I can develop in this area, and that was great. But later, of course, after a couple of years, it evolved. Things like technologies, languages, also people and the money started to matter more. The money, especially because, I started having family. So I also was thinking more in terms of responsibilities and stuff like that. But that also wasn't everything. So at this level, I really matter like what is the technology, but not the product itself. Like if I can use my language, if I can use my libraries, all is good. I can develop myself. And then I also joined a company which was the biggest Polish supplier of VOD services, which means video on demand services. They were building platforms like this, help people streaming their content. And I realized that I have some ethic problem because they really support a lot of shitty content everywhere, like because this is what you can find in television this day and VOD services. And what's more, I'm strongly against pornography business, which hurts a lot of people, women's, kids especially. So I'm strong against that. And then I realized that if we will have someone who will just want to make another porn tube using our services, we'll definitely make it because it's a great business, right? Why should you avoid this? So I started thinking I would like to work in a place where I also feel like it corresponding with my deep values or principles. I don't want to like break myself to do something for the money. But still, I was thinking myself, if someone will pay me the money that I expect and good conditions to work, would it be actually without any meaning for me what the product I'm working on? Of course, if this will not break any of my principles. And I guess on that level, it was okay. Like I was almost working on everything, but actually I tried to make one offer and they offered me super boring job. And everything was like in place, the salary, the stuff that like was around, and I decided no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to like work on a boring project anymore, even if the technology and other stuff are okay. So since that time, I started thinking even more and more about how much important is the project itself for the experienced people, especially, which I became somewhere in the past one day. And now let me finally share with you the learnings that I've made myself, but also observing other people in this area. I think as senior engineers, we really want to understand why our work matters. So what kind of problems does our software solve? Who are we actually helping? What are these people? What we are doing for them? Also, what exactly do people value in this project, in our work? Also, I guess we are much more interested in seeing some kind of bigger picture. What is our mission, like the company mission? Why we are even doing what we are doing? And also, like, what is the plan? For example, how we are gonna sell it? So if you are working in a startup, it's especially important question always, like, what's the plan? What's the future vision? And finally, I guess, because also it's a case for me, since I'm working a lot with startups, we want people to use our products. We don't want to create something nobody using. So even if someone is paying us for this, of course, it's always this phase that something is creating. So you can't expect that it will be sold first day. But at the same time, you don't want to create something nobody uses. Even if someone pays you for this, if you don't believe in the vision because you see that it will not be sold, you just don't want to do this. We love to hear the real end user experience. So to sum up, I think it's very likely that you will find a junior developer who is completely indifferent to what he's working on, and that's okay. It's also possible to find a regular developer who is not particularly interested in the product itself, as long as he's kind of passionate about the language, technology, stuff like this. But if you are looking for experienced engineers and you really want to build a trustful team engaged in the product, you should also take care more about making them involved. Don't treat them as feature machines only or something like this. Tell them the story, show them the impact of their work. And of course, the salary conditions, flexibility of work, other perks, this matter. But at the same time, it's definitely not all. Ensure that your team knows the vision and identifies with your mission. And this will result in a great commitment. And I believe that the team that you will build this way will stay with you for a long time to come.
This is a great topic, and one that is close to me much. I think it's hard to put people in a basket. And I strongly believe that motivation is different for different people. We are not all the same. And some people are really super geek and they are really looking for technical challenges that stimulate them. Some other want to find company that allow them the benefit they need. I particularly like how you phrase it, in different moment of your life, you had different needs. And I reflect into that, when I was, I don't want to say when I was younger, but let's say several years ago, I was much more interested into, creating a business from the bottom up and, starting a new idea and trying to launch it to the market. And that was also because I had time. I mean, I'm still very interested into that, but now I have a family. I have 3 kids and they are my priority in this moment of my life. So I want to agree that in this moment, the money situation, the free time are a huge aspect of how I choose a company that I want to work for. I do agree with you, and that's true for me, that I want to work in some place that is engaging. I'm working for a company that use drones to do some interesting stuff. I still need that excitement part. But what I wanted to say is that I believe that the different people that needs different motivation. And I guess as a company is fundamental to understand what these people motivation are, because if you can understand that, you can probably provide the best setup for these people to express themselves. I will always remember this person that helped me in understanding how to assess people when they are joining in a company and try to understand the value that these people brings. I feel that is so core, and I hear so little people thinking about that. It's not all about knowing React. It's not all about making sure you had previous experience with XYZ, but it's a lot about looking at the person you have in front and thinking, okay, what value this person is bringing. We don't want the team to be composed by people that are bringing all the same value, because otherwise the team would be very narrow, right? So I feel like we need to dedicate a lot of time also on this aspect. But I do understand, I do agree with you that motivation is such a big aspect of making sure the people can provide the largest impact. That was a very good reflection. Thank you much.
Thank you, Enrico. See you next time.
Ciao.
Ciao.